So today you can see James is on the stream. I wasn't sure if I was gonna do a topic stream or a tax stream or both this weekend, but then I remembered that tomorrow's Easter, so I figured we would just have a relaxed tax stream today. So James decided to come on. Also, Megan's in the background. She's just gonna kind of be the peanut gallery in this episode, but. I have her watching the chat, so if you have anything you want to add to the conversation here, you can post that in the chat, and she will inform me if anything's happening. Um, so I'm gonna get my mouse out of the way, and then switch over to James's tab. So where we left off, we have James in the outskirts of Onageberg, in the bushes, and he has a decent bit in his inventory. And also, I should mention that we did implement the experience system. So James actually gained 2 levels in charisma because he originally had no charisma, as most engineers do. Um, and so now he has 2 levels, and hopefully that will be able to help him out a little bit on his journey, um, as opposed to resulting to throwing rocks at old ladies. But I won't call anything before we get into the actual story. So, um, I guess where we left off, James, you are hiding in the bushes, and we can begin from there.
How far away am I from the old lady's house?
From the old lady's house. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up the picture for the people on stream. You're kind of within earshot, I guess. But I mean, it is an old lady, so perhaps not her earshot, but um, I don't know. I just have a little picture here. So for people watching on the stream, James is around here. Um, so you are just kind of like the hut is on the pond that you're nearby, and you are if the hut is at the 9 o'clock position, then you are at the 12 o'clock position on the pond.
All right.
And it's a relatively small pond, so yeah.
I'd like to go kill the old lady.
You're gonna go kill the old lady. All right.
Yes.
So that's how we're escalating things. So I'm just keeping track of your stats here. How do you want to go about this?
Use all my attack.
Well, okay. So you're not at the building yet. Do you want
All right.
to go knock on the
I'd like to
door, or are
go.
you
I'd
just
like to
gonna
go. I'd like
bust
to
it
kick the
open?
door. I'd like to open the door.
Okay. So you're going to attempt to bust the door down. Um, and you seem to knock the hinges down a little bit, but the door seems to be somewhat intact, and you hear some mild screaming from within inside.
Can I try to kick it down again?
Yeah. This time you are successful in knocking the door completely off the hinges, and you are now able to enter the hut.
Are there any pots or pans close by me?
All right. So you look around. That's your awareness. You look around, and there seems to be some small crates around. And I'm just gonna get a picture out. So, um, you are entering the hut, and you see some small crates um, to your immediate right. Uh, and then, other than that, there are some objects on a shelf over in the corner. And I believe we said there was a fireplace on the far side um, when we last were talking about this building. Probably should
All
have
right.
kept track of that, but
I have a, wooden handle that's 6 inches long. Can I attack her with that?
yes, you could attack her with the wooden handle. Hold on, we gotta roll some stuff. Um, the handle itself has a one attack boost, so um, if you're equipping the handle, then we will give you an extra one. Um, and then, sorry, I'll show everyone. So James has now 9 attack to work with during this fight, and so you are entering battle with the elderly woman, are you not?
I am.
Okay, so you can see the small elven woman across the room, and you are now entering battle. So you say, so how would you like it? So let me explain a couple things for the audience, since this is one of the first like actual battles that we have. Um, so the way this is going to work is both since there's two people in the battle, each person will have a turn, and then you have a certain amount of stats to work with your attack and your defense, and then also your luck can be used to improve the rolls within the maximum of what your stat is. So say you have 5 attack and you use 2 luck, then that would be a random number between 2 and 5 for what you attack. Um, and then the rest is pretty straightforward, but you can only use, so you have to use stuff every other turn. So if you used all of your attack, you couldn't attack the next turn. Alright, so that's the way we are working. And so, James, you have 9 attack, 15 defense, and 17 health. And I'm just going to run some quick stuff here. So, trying to be consistent with how we were last time. Um, okay. All right. So, um, what would you like to do for your first turn?
Is she still damaged from the rock I threw at her?
I believe it's been a couple days. The way I'm playing this is kind of like time passes when you're not playing as well. So,
All right. In that case, I will attack her with all 9 attack.
okay. So you swing, but oddly enough, you don't make the best contact, and she has her defenses lowered slightly, but no health is done.
She's a wily old woman.
Or maybe you're bad at swinging.
Maybe.
All right, and so the old woman attempts to swipe at you. Um, Hold on, I'm just gonna get your stats on the screen so we can work with them. Um, 17, 9, and 15. The old woman attempts to swipe at you and manages to slightly nick your skin, but does not cause any direct damage.
All right. Uh, if I have 0 attack, can I use my 5 luck on that and raise it up to 5?
You could attempt to do something else here. So if you wanted to maybe like do something around the room, you could use other statistics that you have. But
Is the fire on right now?
the fire is on. Yes.
Are reptiles fireproof?
I would say that they have a slight heat resistance, but as opposed to, I mean, usually reptiles are cold-blooded, so temperature differentials don't really do well for them. But yeah.
Okay, would this count as an attack if I threw a chair at her to try to disorientate her?
That could be an agility roll, so we can say that.
All right.
Um,
Well, that would not be
you do
strength.
have 5 agility to work with, so um, all right. So you well, you do have the boxes next to you. Is that what you're throwing?
Yeah.
Okay. So you attempt to throw one of the boxes at the old woman. You do manage to slightly confuse her, lowering her defenses for the next turn.
All right.
All right, and so the old lady attempts to attack you, but sadly misses in her frail swings and continues to be somewhat vulnerable.
All right, I would like you to attack with all my attack and all my luck.
Okay, so you have 5 luck. So that means we are going 5 through 9, and you rolled a 7, dealing 7 of her 8 health to bring her down to 1 health. Okay, the old lady, in a last-ditch effort, swings at you, slightly lowering your defenses, but not seeming to cause any eminent health damage.
All right, I'm going to use my 2 charisma to try to taunt her.
Your taunt completely fails, and she spits at you.
That's rude.
uh, um, she takes another swipe at you, slightly lowering your defenses again, but you are a fairly defensive person, so you are unscathed.
All right, and then my attack and luck are reloaded, so I'd like to use both of those and attack her. Kind of
Okay.
overkill it.
You rolled a redundant 7, um, destroying any health that she possibly had, and now the old lady is laying lifeless on the floor of the hut.
All right. I'd like to use my awareness to look around and see if there's any signs that other people live here.
Okay. You look around the room, and you don't notice any signs of other people, but you also don't see many signs of much at all in terms of like trinkets or anything. You just kind of see what would normally be in a hut, whether it be some small food containers by the fire, um, or small trinkets on the shelf.
Could I take the food, trinkets, and use? I think last time you said there was a broom.
What was that?
Last time did you say there was a broom?
A broom. I believe she attempted to throw that at you. Was that not? Or
Can I snag that broom?
yes. So you can take the broom. Okay. So you said you were taking the broom, and you said you were taking the food as well.
Yeah, and you said there was some like miscellaneous trinkets.
Yeah. So we can look at the shelf. It seems that there is a small amount of coinage sitting on the shelf, and also a small marble statue.
I would like to take those.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to update. So you said you took the broom, and you took the food, um, and then you took the money. So let's see how much money you got. It seems that there is 15 coins on the shelf. So you now have 15 coins. And you said you were taking the small statue as well, right?
Yep.
All right. So you now have only 2 slots left in your inventory. And you would you like me to read what's in your inventory right now? I'm not sure if you have that.
I have it.
Okay. Okay. So
The wood break in my attack, or did I lose it, or do I still have it?
the handle.
Mm-hmm.
You do still have the handle. It was completely unscathed.
All right. Um, I would like to put the wooden handle tip in the fire so it gets like charcoaly and write a message on the wall.
Okay. You put the tip of the wooden handle into the fire, and it ignites into flames and begins burning substantially.
All right. Does that mean I can't write anything?
Uh, it would light other stuff on fire. I don't know if that's what you're going for.
No, I want to write a message on the wall saying "Rock people will rise again."
Rock people?
Yeah,
Okay, well, I mean, do you want to try and put the flame out, maybe, or?
yeah. Put the flame out.
Okay, so you manage to pat out the flame on the ground, and you now have a charred stick on, in your hand.
Can I write on the wall "Rock people will rise again"?
You successfully write the message you are uh, trying to write. So you say, "Rock people will rise again." Okay.
All right, now as a side, even though Megan knows that I just killed an old lady, if I meet her, her character won't know, right?
Technically, unless she has heard through other sources.
All right. Hey, Megan. I'd like to go out into the pond and clean myself up.
What was that?
I'd like to go out into the pond and clean myself up.
Okay, so you exit the. I'm gonna save this. This was a nice picture. All right, so you exit to the pond outside the hut, and you are now you wash up in the water, and it gives you a temporary 1 charisma boost.
All right. I would like to head back into Onager so I can give the guy the ornate hammer.
Okay, so you travel back into Onajaberg, um, and you head into the town square. Right now it is about mid-afternoon, and the square is not the most active, but there are a few people standing around, and there is, as per usual, a small crowd around the boisterous armorer or toolsmith stand down in the south end of the square.
All right. I'd like to approach him, but like not shove people aside. Like wait my turn.
Okay, so you walk up and you successfully wade through the line, and you now have the attention of the shopkeep.
All right. I hand him the ornate hammer.
You hand him the hammer, and he says that this is the hammer he was looking for, but that at the moment he does not have the coinage to give you. So if you will meet him back in the morning, he will give you your payment.
That sounds kind of trappy. Um, can I hold on to the hammer until the morning
So let's
with
see.
my 3 charisma?
You do have 3, yes. He says that it would be preferred for him to hold on to the hammer now that he has seen it.
Uh, hmm. Is this guy like? Does he seem to be like? I know he always has a crowd around him. He's boisterous. Does he seem to be well liked?
Um, I remember last time when he talked to you, he wasn't too keen on you being there, but
No, but
you
like,
do pick up the vibe that he is at least it is at least well known throughout the village and well taken by the village. It seems that the people seem to enjoy his presence.
all right. How about I would like to propose a trade for one of his wares that he's selling.
Okay, so you attempt to propose a trade, and if we look at what he now has on the table, I believe what we said was that he had generally. Um, he had a couple tools, but he also had some small daggers and some swords. Um, so he says that if you make him an offer for something that is of equal or lesser value, um, he will be willing to make that trade. So
Um, what do you do it for a small dagger?
he says that this seems like a fair trade, and points to a small, about 4-inch long blade of uh, reputable metal that seems to be relatively simple, but it seems like it would get the job done in a attack situation.
All right.
So you're gonna take that deal?
Yep.
Okay. So you will trade your hammer that you have for the small dagger. So we are going to um, see. So I'm gonna type this in, and this dagger, when wielded, will give you a 2 attack boost.
All right. I'd like to try to sell the marble statue and the broom, but I'd like to go somewhere else.
Okay, so you're gonna look around the square, or are you going to try to look for another building, perhaps?
Look around the square.
Okay,
I'm
so
looking for like a general merchant.
you look around the square. It doesn't seem that there is any trinkets. Most of the other stands seem to be somewhat of produce stands, whether it be some with uh, livestock byproducts or just fruit and vegetables.
Is there a religious building anywhere nearby?
You look around and you see that there seems to be somewhat of a steeple in the back corner of the village. So I'm gonna pull out the map here. There seems to be somewhat of a tower, but it seems to have some sort of religious symbol uh, garnished on the side of it.
All right. I'd like to head to that, please. I'm gonna check to see if the marble statue has any religious significance.
Okay, so you head over to the tower. It is now becoming somewhat dark out, but it's still relatively early in the night, and you are standing at the gate or the door in front of the tower.
I'd like to knock.
Okay, you knock and you hear some footsteps as someone approaches the door, and they call out for a reason that you are knocking um, at this hour. Or, I mean, it's not too late, but
Um, I'm wondering if you have anywhere a poor traveler could stay for sleep, and also if you could look at the statue I found in my travels.
they say that they have no place of bedding, but that they are willing to take a look at the statue if it won't take too much time.
It won't.
Okay, so the person who is speaking opens the door, and you can see that. Hold on. It is a. You can't get too much of a read on the person, other than the fact that it is a somewhat small but able-bodied uh, male human, and they seem not too happy with your presence.
I'm still a naked reptile, so.
Yeah, you know.
All right, so I let him look at the statue.
All right. They look at the statue, and the small man's eyes seem to light up somewhat. He looks up to you and says that this is a statue that has been missing for some time from his shrine, and he asks if this would be a donation to the relic uh, collection.
Oh, would he be able to give me any food or clothing in exchange?
Uh, he says that sadly, as a keeper of the tower, he does not have anything to exchange, but perhaps he could uh, make a set up an arrangement for you to be able to get a favor in return for your trade.
Uh, are there blessings in this? Like, if he prayed for me, would I like maybe get stats boosts?
You could get like a temporary stat boost. Uh,
Yeah, I'd like him to. I'll just give this to him, and I'd like for him to pray for me so I get some boosts.
okay. Is there anything particularly you would like to have a boost in, or
Charisma.
okay? So you ask him if he can give you a some sort of prayer for charisma, and he bows his head and begins muddling some cryptic words that you have not heard, but you do feel some sort of boost of confidence, and your charisma is boosted for slightly more than temporary by 3.
So does
So
that mean
that's
I'm at
added
6?
to your current um, boost of 1 from washing up. So you now have a temporary 6 charisma.
All right. Have I given him the statue yet?
Yes, this was in
All right.
exchange.
I'd like to thank him and leave.
Okay.
Um. Ooh, now I have all this charisma. What should I do? Uh. What time is it?
It's now fairly dark out, and it's in late into the evening.
All right. I'd like to leave town and go sleep in the woods.
Okay. So are you going north or west back towards the pond, or
North.
north? Okay. So you um, exit north from the town, and you are able to spot a nice, dense patch of trees that look like they would be able to support a small bed or structure for the night.
I'd like to try to craft something of that nature.
Okay, so with your 35 craftsmanship, um, you in your day's work, you are quite exhausted, but you do manage to make a small bed and a small cover, giving you shelter for the night.
All right. I'd like to go to sleep.
Okay, so you sleep and you are awoken by the sound of the birds chirping in the morning.
Did I lose my +1 charisma?
Yes, you do lose the +1, but you still have 5 because of the prayer. So
All right. Um. I would like to. What time is it? Like, is it how early
it's
is it?
relatively early in the morning, so the sun is just rising.
Um. I'd like to. I'd like to go exploring.
Okay, hold on. I'm
So
trying
I'd
to
like to keep heading north.
get caught up on the picture here because we're starting to get some more landmarks on the map here. So Okay, so you're trying to explore further north.
Before I do that, can I break the broom part of the broom off just so I have the shaft and try to make it into a quarterstaff?
Okay, so that would be craftsmanship. You are successful in removing the bristle end um, of the broom, and you are able uh, to craft it down by um, rubbing it against trees and various rocks into a formidable staff. This will so your broom is now a staff, and the staff has a one attack if used for any reason, but also when wielded, you gain a extra one agility just because it kind of helps you walk if necessary.
All right. I'd like to use it as a walking staff for right now, and I'd like to continue heading north.
Okay. All right. So now out in the morning, you see a small field. It doesn't seem that there's much structure north of the forest, but there is an open field with little flowers here and there, um, and various plant life.
Do I know anything about herbology?
Um, well, you do have awareness, so you could attempt to make assumptions about the plants.
Uh, I would like to see if I can notice any useful plants.
You take a look around, and you seem to see that there are only some wildflowers and various grasses. It's sort of like a savanna.
All right, I'll just ignore everything.
Okay.
Are I have the food containers? Are they empty or full?
So you have three small food containers, but sadly only one has food available.
All right. I'd like to go ahead and eat some food.
What was that?
I'd like to eat some food.
Okay. So you eat the food. Are you gonna hold on to the containers?
Yeah.
Okay, so these are just cans. Times three. Um, and the food gives you a temporary one extra health.
All right. All right. I guess I keep heading north.
Okay. Hold on. Okay, so you continue through the plains, and you don't see any significant landmarks other than a mountain-like structure considerably far in the distance, and the edge of the plain seems to be populated with more trees.
Hmm. How long would it take How long would it take to walk to the mountainous thing?
You look, and it seems that it would be about the rest of the day to travel all the way to the mountain.
I'd like to try to head as close to the mountain as I can get.
Okay. Uh, so you walk along the path, well, not necessarily a path, just through the nature, and you are able to traverse about 2/3 of the distance before it begins getting significantly dark out.
All right. I don't know. Can I light the lantern or the um, correct lamp?
The lamp. You do have the lamp, yes.
Do I have
Um,
any torches actually?
oh, you do have a torch with you, yes. So
Can I light the torch instead?
you are you successfully create a spark on a couple of rocks you see sitting around, and you are able to light the torch to create a nice flame that gives you an extra 3 awareness in the dark of the night.
Okay. Then I'd like to keep heading towards the mountain.
Okay, so you continue.
Oh, before that, actually, can I look around and see if I notice anything?
Sure. You look around, and it seems that you are now nearby a river system, um, but you also are still within the thick of somewhat well wooded area.
All right. Do I hear any like animals or anything like that?
It seems that the birds have gone to sleep for the night, but there are some chatters of small woodland creatures, and also a somewhat interestingly humanoid-sounding sound coming from the distance.
Is that distance towards the mountain?
It is in the exact opposite direction.
Does it sound like it's aggressive or
Your initial read from from the sound that you make is that it is a very loud yell, but not necessarily much information can be drawn from the sound.
I'd like to head back towards the sound.
Okay, so you turn around and begin walking towards the sound. Um, as you walk, the sound begins to grow slightly louder and more clear, and you are able to pick out the fact that it is someone speaking words, but from this distance you cannot necessarily um, grasp hold of what exactly they are saying.
All right. I'd like to get close to the voice, but try to hide to see if I can look at it without being seen. I'd like to put out the torch as well.
Okay, so you put out the torch, removing your awareness buff, and you attempt to sneak by the person, and you are successful in creeping up to a nearby tree that is quite close to the source of the sound.
All right. Can I see the source of the sound?
You are able to pick out that it is a person of comparable size to yourself, and but in the dark of the night, you are not able to pick out any specific features other than just general size.
Um, can I tell from the voice whether it's masculine or feminine, or like will that give me a hint towards the race?
You do find that this is a rather masculine voice. Um,
All right. And is it does he sound like aggressive or
hold you find that this person just seems to be minding their own business. Perhaps this is some sort of form of work, but they don't seem to be very aggressive in nature.
All right, I'd like to walk up to them and say hello.
All right. So you walk up to the person. I believe right now you have 5 charisma with your temporary buff to work with. So you walk up to the person and you say hello. Um, and the person replies somewhat tentatively, um, a greeting back to you, just sort of trying to gain a idea of where you are, um, and uh, and just sort of bearings on their environment.
Can I ask if he's friend or foe?
You ask, and the person seems to be somewhat reluctant to give information out, but from their voice, they don't seem to be somewhat very threatening.
I'd like to light the torch, and walk towards them, and
Okay,
try
so
to look as
you light the
friendly as
torch.
possible.
What was that?
And try to look as friendly as possible. I don't want to kill this person or be
Okay,
attacked.
so you're putting on a smile.
Oh,
Um,
that's creepy with the reptile face.
yeah, showing off your teeth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but also your glasses. Um, okay, so you attempt uh, to kindly um, reveal yourself to the person, and they seem to be somewhat relieved by the face reveal to find that you are not a significantly massive creature, and you are of comparable size to the person you're talking to.
All right. What race are they?
You well now you can see them. Uh, hold on. Um,
And my awareness went up, right, to
yeah,
13 and up. Sorry.
so I think I added that back. Um, yeah, I added that back. All right. So you are now able to see that this is a an elven person um,
Damn it.
that seems to be walking through the woods, and they seem to be somewhat distraught.
Can I ask him what is anything wrong?
You walk up and ask if anything is wrong, and they seem to be um, somewhat taken back by the question, but they do say that they were just informed of a relatively saddening news of a relative passing.
Go on.
They seem to be somewhat caught in their own words, and you can see tears forming on their face.
Can I use my awareness to see if he looks similar to the old lady?
You notice a striking resemblance now that there is a light in the forest.
Well, tits. All right. I try to be sympathetic and say I'm sorry, and that life's. I don't know.
Uh,
Just try to be sympathetic.
you seem to you attempt to sympathize for the person, and they seem to have no extra suspicion about you. They seem to accept your condolences uh, pretty easily.
All right. Can I ask him what's up with the mountain?
So you ask about the mountain. Um, the person seems to be somewhat somewhat dominated by their current emotional state, and they are not able to answer you in any way.
I don't have any food left. Can I start a small fire for us to sit around?
Yes, I believe so. Actually, no.
Dang.
I was not
Uh,
expecting a 0 out of 35, but
well, that is upsetting. Can I give him a coin for his troubles?
you can, and the person seems very grateful to take the coin. You are now down to 14 currency.
All right. Has he calmed down at all?
Um, it seems that the present has somewhat taken his attention away from his emotional state.
All right. I would like to ask about the mountain again.
Okay, so you propose a question about the mountain, and the man seems to uh, have some cogwheels uh, running as you ask the question. In general, they say that this is the mountain that has been told in many stories as a child, but due to the distance from the small village, he is forbidden by his family um, to go anywhere near the mountain um, for undisclosed reasons. But he does say that uh, there are a tribe of people who live in the mountains that occasionally will come and trade with the village people.
All right. I'm gonna tell him that I'm heading towards the mountain, and he's welcome to join me if he wants.
Okay, he seems to be somewhat um, uh, scared of the offer and says that he should probably be getting back to his family now.
All right. Tell him have a nice day, and then continue towards the mountain. Mountain.
Okay, you tell him to have a nice day, and he says he'll try, but it doesn't seem like he will have a very nice day. Um, and you continue off towards the mountain.
All right.
And it is now relatively deep into the night, um, and you are still about a, we'll say, 2/5 of the way from the village to the mountain due to the fact that you had to backtrack a little bit.
All right. I'd like to find a tree and try to craft a place to sleep for the night.
Okay, hold on. You, I think this is the feedback. You are successful in creating an entire building in about 5 minutes, and you um, you are able to create a small hut to spend the night um, within the the village. Oh, sorry, within the forest.
All right. I'd like to go to sleep, and can we call the adventure there?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna hold on. Let me um, change your save location to uh, hut in northern forest. Um, and built hut. And all right, I will update the pictures accordingly. But I think that's a pretty good stopping point. I was asking if you wanted to adjust anything with the stock market. The thing I wanted to tell you, I think didn't get around to it at the start, is that I did decide on an ending point for the stock market, and I am going to end it at 26 weeks. We are currently at week 20. So I haven't really decided what exactly I'm going to do for the end, whether there's going to be any benefit to doing well, but that is the idea for right now. Just because there's a couple changes I want to make, and I figure I'll let it run out until a stopping point, and then apply those changes to the next season. So,
All right.
um,
Yeah,
but
I'd like
I'm
to
sure if we're
talk
still
this.
doing this, then you'll probably be able to buy in whenever we start that back up.
All right.
But yeah, so that's gonna be the stream for today. I want to thank you guys for watching if you have been, and we're gonna be signing off. But I will be streaming on Tuesday with a cover, so you can look forward to that. I don't think I'm gonna stream tomorrow due to the fact that it's Easter. I figure a lot of people are gonna be with their family, and I'm gonna be with my family. So,
Don't
um,
talk about politics.
what was that, James?
Don't talk about politics.
I'll try not to. So I want to thank you all for watching and wish you all a happy Easter if you celebrate. But until Tuesday, I will see you later.